that's a little bit of a handful and you are struggling on walks, or you've lost your confidence with your dog. It might be that you also had a dog beforehand that was really easy, and now you've got a dog that's not easy. And when you see dogs and people, your heart starts racing a little bit because you're not too sure of how your dog's going to react. Probably because a couple of times they've had a reaction that you find quite confrontational, and you don't want other people judging you. That is a common scenario for very, very many people. And building confidence through that to start to, one, get your dog to be able to manage that behaviour, but also for yourself, for your heart not to race, for your hands not to tighten on the lead, and that you don't rush the dog in those moments, is an absolute skill. But this is then very strongly a confidence building scenario between the dog and the handler. So to be able to manage this, and I actually have cases where the dog's actually okay, but the owner's previous dog was reactive, so there's a problem. So how do you manage this? Well, the best ways to manage this, well, one of the ways to make it worse is to continue to hide in the woods. Continue to hide in those quiet walks. Continue to walk at 5 a.m. in the morning. Because as much as it serves you to bring down the stress for a short interim, which I would always start that we bring the dog down to a reset, if they continue being stressed, but it's never going to fix if you stay in that position. So you need to get brave. You need good guidance, so you know what to do with the dog first. That's always going to be my go-to. I'm going to teach you what to do with your dog first, and then we'll teach you. So once you know how to manage it and what to do in those moments, because the scenarios can change in so many different ways. There's so many variations to on-lead dogs, off-lead dogs, other dogs being reactive, other dogs being over-friendly, owners that care, other owners that don't care. All this scenario, once you can start to work out what to do in each of those situations, then you will start to gain confidence as well. Then other ways that you can help yourself is find someone, especially if you've got a friend with a dog that's pretty cool, then you're halfway set, because that dog can help train your dog. So when you meet another dog, their dog can go first, show your dog that it's okay, and the likelihood is that will improve the reaction. Training walks, social walks, that your dog can be around other dogs in a situation where everybody else understands, is really super important. Then slowly, it's the way you start to integrate yourself and your dog back into real life that will make life easier for you. But if you have a situation where you meet a similar dog and they kick off at each other every time, then your dog's learning history of other dogs is too poor. They're going to be just understand that that's a reaction that they have to do. There's no positive association, no positive comeback. So make yourself get out there, and it's hard, and that's one of my main jobs, is to guide people and to be that person that either blocks the dog that I think is not the right dog for you. Using my dog, that's another thing I do. She is a wonderful guide for other dogs, being a nervous girl herself, but she has a new wave of sort of understanding nervous dogs now, and she helps them out. Social walks, getting yourself out in public places. So if you live rural, you have to get out and about, and you have to make that time, and you're going to have to drive down to somewhere busier so that you can work with it, because if you don't, it gets worse. Obviously the winter makes it worse because we can't really walk the dog in daylight after work. We see less dogs, so you might find that your dog gets worse in this scenario, totally worse. So you've got to make the time. One of the other ways you could do it is that you find a dog walker that can take your dog out for you. You might sometimes find as well, I would choose them very carefully, but you might find that person's might walk 4 dogs like your dog every day, and their confidence level with it is pretty cool. They understand how to handle it, they know how to do it, and not as emotionally attached to the dog, and I think that can massively improve the dog's behaviour. That is a service that I do as well, as part of Walk and Train, just to help your dog come over the worst of it, to then help you step in and be able to manage it a bit easier. So there is ways to manage it, but it's hard. It's really hard, and it can sometimes feel like you're butting your head against the wall. Large amount of the dogs that I've worked with in regards to reactivity, I would say a good 80%, I can get them to be friends with other dogs. I can get them to have relationships with other dogs without reacting. The social walk group now, the regulars know each other. It makes me laugh. The regulars know each other, and they're totally fine. The next passing dog can be a problem, which I obviously get Muna to be the dog block from the newbies coming in. But walking in a group helps the owners, because walking with a group of dogs on lead and someone else comes in off lead, then we've got a decent right to oh my god, to say, can you mind getting your dog on a lead? And there's more than one of us. You can make it better. You can help your dog. You can stop being less nervous. I have these conversations with people weekly, monthly, when you've lost your nerve, and often it is women, and often the dog is